Hey guys, what is up? AwesomeTheSauce here. Hope you guys are having a great day and welcome to a very important video. This is not like my usual videos. This is not about PvP, but honestly, it's about something that I think honestly is a bigger issue. I'm gonna be talking about something that happened, I believe it was last week. I think it was like a little bit of during the hotfix that happened. Another update did come out. I'm gonna be talking about the updates to the chat filter. Sauce, what updates are you talking about? All right, so like, listen, right? Listen, I got open chat, right? So let's say that I find something entertaining, mildly maybe, you know, I might hit him up with that LMAO, but no, I can't do it. It's not allowed. It's banned. But you know, they didn't stop at banning LMAO. It is now red text, meaning if I were to use this, it would not be allowed. There's a few other things that you also now can't say, including LMFAO. That is the devil language. Damn, you can't say damn anymore. It's the worst word. It's the worst. It is, go to hell, please. You can't say FFS, and you also now cannot say FML. Now on the surface, this seems like a really, you know, like a change that doesn't affect anything. I'm here to argue that honestly, these are the types of changes that we need the least in Wizard101. I think these are the types of changes that make the game much less enjoyable. And honestly, the reason I'm gonna be saying this as from my perspective is because as a streamer, I have the luxury of being able to build a community outside of the constraints of the chat filter. For me, making friends on Wiz, it's as simple as just pressing the start streaming button and then talking to people. It's a really nice thing. It's one of the main reasons why I've stayed playing this game for as long as I have. I can assure you that if I didn't have the whole streaming thing, or at least making video thing that I've been doing, like if I didn't have this sort of communication, I would not have been able to build a community and I would not have been able to enjoy the game as much. And I think things like LMAO, you know, like if there's a funny thing that happens and you're trying to express that, language like this is a key part of community building. So for people who don't have a stream, for people who don't make videos, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's multiple reasons why I'm specifically making this video. It's not just to say, oh, this is stupid. Obviously, you know, you could agree or not agree, but I do want to point out some flaws in this little ban. First off, you could literally just say LMAOO. Or gasp, oh. There's still ways to get around it, so I don't know, I just don't feel like they've really, I mean, I'm not saying the next step is to keep banning things, it's just like there are variations of this that make it so that this was just not needed. All it does is just mildly inconvenience people that are just trying to communicate the way they would normally communicate. But more importantly than that, this is open chat that it's affecting. You have to be 18 years or older in order to use open chat anyways. So that means that they're basically saying 18-year-olds can't say the word ass? I mean, come on, bruh. It's the 21st century. Like, ass. I think that this is part of a larger conversation that KingsIsle must have. Is this a game meant purely for kids, or is it a game that has a community that can be catered to kids, but is also available to adults? I think this is a really important question because let's be honest, the people that played Wiz 10 years ago are now 10 years older. That's how time works, believe it or not. So I'm just a little confused why the rules that made Wiz popular 10 years ago aren't being adapted to the audience that is growing. And by the way, this argument about the age of the Wizard101 population and who plays the game, it extends well beyond just chat. It goes into the themes that go into story building, it goes into the complexity that you want to introduce as levels get higher, it goes into all of that. If you can actually, you know, gauge the fact that the community that plays your game is much older than ages 10 and up, as you might suggest, right? Then, you know, you could go into darker things, right? The darkest story in Wiz is that Azteca gets hit by a meteor, which it's cool. It's a start, but I want there to be deeper narratives, bro. Like, it's so much easier to get involved in a plot when there are slightly darker elements. It doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be insane, but I do think that, you know, there's like a gray area that they've just refused to explore when it comes to plot. I know that some people could lie about their age and you're trying to protect them, but that's not KingsIsle's fault. Now, I'm not like a lawyer, but I'm pretty sure that if they ask you your age and then give you features based on your answer, they've already dodged all liability when it comes to them marketing themselves as an ages 10 and everyone up company and, you know, having kids be exposed to things that are like above ages 10 and up, right? I feel like you're not going to be liable to what kids are exposed to if they lie about their age. You've done your part. You've done your part by asking them for their age. Let me tell you guys my experience, right? I didn't lie about my age when I signed up for Wiz. I was literally a menu chatter for a very, very long time. Not even like, I'm not even talking about text chat. I'm talking like, I used the drop down. I don't even think I have it anymore, but I literally used to use the drop down menu to communicate with people. That was literally how I used to talk to people in this game. The only reason I was even able to like have a sense of community like that I was able to find later with streaming, but when I first started off, it was because I was literally on a phone call with my friends as I played the game, and eventually that evolved into like being in a Skype call with them, being in a Discord call with them, and I would give that as a valid alternative, but turns out you can actually get banned for sharing your Discord and sharing your Skype through the game. I think it's part of a larger thing. Like, let's say that I were to, like, you know, put a number, right? You know, you can't do it through menu chat. You can technically put a number, but you can only do it through open chat, right? So you could give personal information, but when you exchange something like that, it's against the TOS, and you can literally just get perma-muted for doing that. So by making it so that you can't say things like LMAO or whatever, you're making people want to share their Discord, and then they might just get muted. So it's not just like, oh, this prevents people from talking like they want to. You're only going to increase the instances where they share information because they want to communicate more openly, and then you're gonna ban more people. It's like, it's a situation that only gets worse because of something like this. I'm using a slippery slope argument when I'm talking about this for not just the reason that I just said, you know, not just for the fact that more people are gonna get banned by trying to, like, you know, get around these really, like, I don't know, weird draconian ass chat filter changes. You know, like, they're gonna get banned for sharing their Discords probably. Or sorry, muted. I'm not sure what the consequences are. There are consequences. I don't know what the consequences are. Probably muted. I don't know. But beyond that, I also think that when you make the change to ban words, you're making a hugely risky move. Because here's the thing. I feel like banning something is a lot less controversial than unbanning something, right? I think that KingsIsle has a freedom of ignorance, you know, like, like, let's say there is a way to get around the chat filter with something, and I'm not talking about, I think what they should focus on are, like, slurs, right? If you're gonna say a racial slur, yeah, that's probably not something that they should be able to say by getting around a chat filter. That's, like, hate speech. That's not good. But we're talking about things like LMAO, like, you know, like, damn. Like, I feel like when you have the luxury of being like, oh, we don't know that there's a way to get around it, and the actual words are banned, right? I feel like you should be a lot stricter on actually bad things that people say with the chat filter, and the priorities just seem really off for me. Let's say they were to go backwards and allow LMAO. Now they're taking a stance. I don't think they're really taking a stance by reading LMAO, right? I think they take a much harder stance by reversing it. So I feel like now they're in this position where they can't really reverse changes like this. I think they should take less riskier moves, therefore, you know, with that argument. I think they should just get rid of, like, I'm not gonna obviously type it, but there are ways to say much worse words in chat, and I feel like, I don't know, maybe there's hall monitors around, maybe people do get muted, but I've seen people literally come over to the stream when I'm PvPing, and they say a lot of things, and they don't really seem to have repercussions, especially because they do it on their alt wizards, right? So I think it's a really big issue where there does need to be things that they do to fix chat, but I feel like it's affecting the wrong parts of the community, and it's going to affect community building a lot more in the long run. I don't know, this is a really interesting topic, in my opinion, because I don't think there's actually a right or wrong answer. It's just like a huge jumbled mess, and I feel like it's hard to really arrive on the right, it's hard. It's a hard situation. But that's just how I feel about it. I feel like these few chat filter restrictions, they just seem kind of stupid to me, and they seem anti-productive, if anything, especially when it comes to people just having a normal conversation in an online forum, right? I feel like it just affects them negatively more than positively. That being said, I really do think that we need changes, and I just don't think that they've done the right ones yet. I think there are certain ways to get around the chat filter that are much more problematic. So I don't know, it's a mixed bag for me. What do you guys think of this update? Is it gonna really mean anything to you? Does it affect you? Is it a bad thing? Is it a good thing? I'd love to hear y'all's opinions about the future of chat filtering that you guys think KingsIsle might or might not do. You know, I would love to hear what you guys think about the direction that they're taking. taking with stuff like this. And as always, drop a like if you enjoyed the video, leave a sub if you're new, there's tons of links in the description, tell me your opinion in the chat, and as always, if somebody hasn't told you're awesome today, they doing something wrong. So stay awesome, and yeah.